did I manage my time effectively? That was probably one of the first things I set out to achieve, and that was by using the Interact to download weekly planners and 5 weekly planners. They proved probably my lifesaver over this semester, just to organise my time before I even knew where I was going to start.
I use CSU's learning services and library quite a bit. Being based in Albury-Wodonga, I was able to come out here to the Thurgoona Library whenever I needed to. Initially, I was able to form a study group with some other master's students. That was fantastic because it gave me an incentive and a time to be out here in the Learning Commons in the library, ready to study. The librarians were absolutely fantastic with referencing and using things like EndNote. They were able to give us basically one-on-one tutorials on how to do that, and that greatly assisted my studies. Further to that, I spent a lot of time talking to Kim Craig at the Wagga campus, and also Maria Farrell, the head of school. And we worked through lots of different study options to give me the course combinations that would achieve what I wanted. And that actually changed over the course of my study. So they were able to work with me to come up with the appropriate study program to get me to achieve what I wanted to achieve from the course.
The services I used from CSU in assisting me in my distance study were, in particular, the library services and using the online databases. I also live very near to the Wagga campus, so I was able to come in and use all the facilities such as the common room and the internet services.
I had a lot of contact with all of my lecturers for every subject. I did a residential school at Wagga. That was absolutely fantastic, and that was for commercial law, and they were able to really engage us up there, and we were able to go through the nuances that sometimes textbooks don't show you. All of the lecturers were great in response times. They're always happy to have feedback from students and always happy to give advice. I'd certainly have no hesitation in contacting any of the staff at CSU. They've been a great help to my study.
I had the opportunity to contact my lecturer just to get some feedback on how I was going in the subject, and also to discuss some theories that were involved in the subject. My lecturer gave me some very comprehensive answers that then helped me move on to the next topic.
My best experiences as a distance education student was I travelled to China and met with other CSU MBA students, master's students, and also students from the University of Applied Science in Bern, where we did a course called Doing Business in China. Even though I've been importing and exporting to China for nearly 20 years, I learned so much from the course that I wanted to sign up again straight away. It was really fantastic. I was also able to add some time to the start and the end of the trip and do business while I was over there, and it was a fantastic experience that I'd recommend to anyone. I really think that the information that we gained over there would have actually resulted in censure from the Chinese government a few years ago, and the information that we got was just superb, really fantastic and really worth the expense of going over.
What was the greatest advantage of studying this semester via distance was probably the flexibility that distance education has given me. Having a family and having to work part-time as well, I was able to use my time management skills to try and fit it all together without having to also attend lectures at the campus.
I didn't have any really bad experiences as a DE student that weren't of my own lack of planning. The worst thing that happened to me as a DE student was a couple of all-nighters to get work in on the due date where I hadn't planned myself effectively, or I had other commitments. Overall, my experience at CSU was fantastic.
What was my worst experience as a DE student? Probably the fact that things crop up, difficulties occur in your life, and that's actually happened to me at the moment. I have a family member who's actually become quite ill. That's thrown my timetabling, my time management completely out the window. And when you're a distance student, you really feel very alone, but you have to just keep going. And learning to use the support services, I think, is what's getting me through at the moment.
My biggest cultural shock when I started to study again after being away from education for 20 odd years was when I started to study, or decided to study in trimester 3. I thought I'd have plenty of time to get my studies completed. Unfortunately, all my family and friends thought I'd have plenty of time too, so things didn't work out quite as well as I thought.
Did I experience any culture shock as a student starting distance education? Actually, yes. What I found most difficult, as I had previously studied internally, was getting organised. Procrastination is probably one of my best attributes at the moment, so culture shock, absolutely.
The best piece of advice I can give to any new distance education student is to talk to the staff. They're fantastic, they're really willing to help, and they're able to be flexible as long as you communicate with them effectively and in a timely manner. The staff are really gracious, they're really happy to help, and basically all I can say is distance education at CSU was great.
What advice could I give a new distance education student at CSU? Would be get organised. Time management is so important. Having been an internal student and studying distance, there is so many differences, and that time management can't be emphasised enough. Start off with a plan and work through that plan, but I think the most important thing is to realise that things do go wrong and things happen, and you're allowed to change your plan.